this is our first time recording. This is the first podcast concept. Well, anyways, I'm Tony. This is.
I am Kendra.
I'm high.
High is high. He's actually high.
What are you most known for, High?
What am I most known for? You tell me. For being friendly.
Friendly.
All right.
First of all, his name is Shut the Fuck Up High. He failed to introduce himself properly. And as you watch the podcast, you will learn why his name is Shut the Fuck Up High. Because it's just self-explanatory. As you listen to him, you will want to say, Shut the fuck up high.
So he's going to start the ceremonial joint?
Yes. Now that he's been properly introduced, we can light this motherfucker up.
You've been blessed.
Yes.
Not by you. Just saying. Not by you. He thinks so, though.
Well, as he's lighting the joint, I wanted to kind of start this podcast because, I've been experiencing a lot of things and, a lot of it comes from ayahuasca, and we all just got back from an ayahuasca ceremony.
Yes, and it was my first ayahuasca experience.
Damn.
Like he's a pro or some shit. Anyways,
Damn.
no, it's not that serious. He's not that cool. Anyways, the point is it was my first ayahuasca experience, and that's where I met these lovely people, Beavis and Butthead, and now they're my new appendages, and I can't get rid of them. I even brought them into my home. I feel like they forced themselves into my home. I just want to make sure I put that out there.
We're straight dogs.
No. He did, though. Like, he's not even smoking weed. So I don't know what the fuck his problem is. But, yeah, thanks for playing along. I have black lungs. You have black lungs, bro.
All right, so I don't smoke. So get a tiny hit just so we can all get connected.
That's not why he's doing this shit at all. He just wants to tell you that we're already connected.
Yo.
So the stone.
We got the stone.
Yes, I did ayahuasca the first time. I took one of the stones with me. I have a lot of stones and crystals. Actually, stones and crystals were the beginning of my path. The beginning of my journey, which started 7-8 years ago now, after my divorce. Prior to my divorce, I had no religion. I grew up in the church, so very God. My parents were strict, but I ended up losing religion because I always felt like God wasn't something outside of me, and so I actually started with crystals. They would call me. And I would feel like different healing because when I was married, a lot of things came up from my childhood that I would feel that I need to heal. So I would take the stones and I could feel the energy. So that's how my path started, was actually with crystals. This specific one, because crystals are so important to me, I took it with me to the ceremony. Actually, she told me to take her because I have so many other ones here, but she specifically was okay about leaving the house. And I was grateful to be able to place her under the altar as we were, going through ceremony. A lot of times, people will tell you, like, don't let other people touch your crystals or whatever, but I knew that she needed to absorb energy for me to bring home. So she's actually a fluorite, which you can kind of see. The other side is a different stone, which I can't remember the name of it.
How do different stones kind of like fuse or merge together? Like crystals are like a really new concept.
They're formations.
Okay.
Yeah, so they form. I mean, the same way the same way the gemologist would go search for a diamond. Like how they mine them out. These stones are mined, so they're in my opinion, they're just as precious as any other like diamond or anything like that, like the stones that are more popular as far as being of some sort of financial value.
Yeah.
But to me, these are just as important. They just give you like it's a spiritual value. You know what I'm saying? So,
I can hold it.
oh, okay, my bad. But yeah, it's just like they mean just as much. What I believe, and I don't know why we're talking about what I believe so much today, but anyways, what I believe is that they have codes in them, because when you put them on you, you can feel. And I feel like those messages are being downloaded to you, like specifically for whatever you need from the stone. So I think we actually leave them for ourselves, for them to find us.
So before I ever had got my first stone, it was like the first stone that was like I was attracted to, and I actually found that stone on OfferUp.
Okay.
But before that, I was still pretty skeptical about like what stones are, or crystals are, and
That's actually good you brought that up, because, okay, so stones have certain properties already, right?
yeah.
I was right in the middle of my shit. But anyways, so stones automatically, like, there's a dictionary of what the stone does, right? So you actually can program your stone to do whatever you need it to do. And a lot of people don't know that. Another thing is, like, it's very popular. Oh, charge your stones under the full moon, new moon, whatever. They always tell you it's under the moon. They actually can be charged in the sun. So your stone, of course, when you first get your stone, you sage it so that it attaches to you. But
I never did that. So
you should sage it. You have to sage it to get the other person's coding off of it. Like, if a person gives you a stone or you buy a stone from the store, you sage it first so that it attaches to you. And when it attaches to you, like, sometimes I'll say a prayer. Like, when I get out, just like say a silent prayer for it to attach to me and provide me whatever it needs to bring for me. So there is like something to the books of what it does, but that's like a general message of what it does. But to actually minister to exactly what you need, you program it.
How do you like program a? This is like all freaking new to me.
Yeah. No worries.
Like how do you program it, or is it like an intention, or is
It's
it like,
a lot of things that I do are intuitive, right? So it's harder for me to explain. But what I do is I don't tell. I feel like I don't know exactly what I need sometimes, because I'm living in this realm. You know what I mean? Like, I can think I need something that I might not need. So that's why I have a conversation with my higher self, right?
yeah?
So I do a lot of what people call speaking in tongues, right? Well, I don't even know if people call it that. Like, I speak in a language that I don't even know. And that's the prayer that I'll say over it, because I don't believe that I always know exactly what I need. So I let the spirit tell this stone what it is that I need, because my words might be limited. I might think that, so let me see, what does fluorite do? Fluorite, I believe it has to do, damn, I fucked that up. Let me look up what fluorite is exactly. Look up, because I don't want to click off.
Let me see.
Because I'll tell you what I would think I needed to do.
Fluorite crystals.
Yeah, like the meaning or what it does. Yeah. How you so fucking slow? I don't even know why you're trying.
Fluoride is a mineral form of calcium fluoride. It belongs to the halide minerals. It crystallizes in isometric cubic habit, although octahedral and more complex.
I think this is what you're looking for.
I'm looking for the spiritual meaning. And this is the moment when you say, shut the fuck up high. This is, right. So it says it's known for clarity and mental enhancement, right? Ability to assist with clearing negative energy and aiding in decision making. Also, this definition I've never heard for fluorite. That's what's so crazy, right? So like you'll read this, or like when you go to the crystal shops, they do like little cards to tell you what it does. But the stone always does more than what our limited human minds thinks that it can do. So that's why I'll speak to the stone. I mean, even if it's a situation of this stone here, I'll just put it to my forehead. You don't have to move your mouth, or to my heart. And I let my vibrations absorb from it what it needs, and that's how I program it. It's not always like talking to it, because like I said, I don't know exactly what I need, you know? And like that
It's like a
definition, dead
all-knowing,
ass,
huh?
I didn't even, yeah, but I'm an intuitive feeler. You know, like some people are really good at explaining. Me, I feel everything. High does not explain shit. We need to let High talk so you guys can really capture. Shut the fuck up, High. But it's like that's what I do as far as programming the crystal. But I will admit, like I go into a crystal shop, I can feel it, bro. They call me. Like it'll just be this crazy vibration that comes off of me, and I know it's mine. Sometimes I meet people, like even when we're at the ceremony, I end up giving away one of my smaller crystals, right? Yeah. And I did that because the crystal told me give it to her. Yeah. So I gave it to her. Like they talk to you. Like even like people ask me, well, how do you keep them? You know, what if you lose them? And I'm like, it's passed on. It's done its work. Let it go. Detach.
Like for me, when I got my black tourmaline, dude, the moment I held it, bro, that shit was like, fuck.
Yeah, it's like, it like vibes off of me.
And so, I mean, I never really programmed it or anything because I don't know. But, dude, it's in the middle of my tattoo studio. Like, it happens to be right in the middle.
Who gave it to you? What was the context of what you got?
So, I went to the store and I was like, dude, I only want black tourmaline. Because
how did you know to look for
I don't know. Like, I went to a crystal store before, or my friend. So, dude, this is a crazy thing. I never knew anything about crystals, and I went to Chicago. Shout out to Nookie. And she has a bunch of crystals in her house, and she has this crazy mat, dude. It's like $4,000, and there's a gang load of crystals inside the mat. And then you turn it on, and it heats it up with infrared. Wow. And so you just lay on it. And at first, I was still skeptical. And I lay there, and she just puts a bunch of crystals and stones around me. And I turn off my brain, and I'm just laying there. And dude, it starts getting scary because everything's starting to vibrate, but the mat's not doing anything. Like, it's not even moving. And so I randomly start taking crystals, and I'm randomly putting it on my neck. And just whatever it feels
you're
good.
Doing
yeah.
this intentional,
No. He's like within
intuitive.
the spirit. He's intuitive. This is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like,
so I'm just laying there.
He's totally saying exactly what I'm saying.
And I'm just grabbing random shit. I'm putting it on, and then she comes out and she's like, "Yo, how did you know that was the stone for your heart chakra? How did you know that was the stone for your crown?" I was like, "I don't even know what these crystals are." Right? And then so there was the black crystal, and I just keep gravitating towards it. So then I was like, dude, I need a fucking monster, bro, for my studio. And I was looking around, and like little pieces of black tourmaline were like $150, and then these little bigger ones were like $1,500. I was like, dude, I'm not gonna pay any of that. And dude, out of nowhere,
you put it in your pants and walked out with it?
No, bro. But anyways, oh, now you see why High? Now you see his name? Shut the fuck up, High.
All of a sudden I look over and put it in your pants.
Go on, carry on.
Yeah.
Carry on. Don't ignore the fact that I said some stupid shit. Okay.
And so, dude, I started Googling random things, and then I use OfferUp for everything. And I typed in black tourmaline, and there's this giant crystal. And the dude wanted $300. And I was like, dude, if I pick it up right now, I'll pay you $250. And he was like in East LA. And I was with a client at the time. So I couldn't pick it up. So I sent my sister and her boyfriend.
Oh, dope.
And dude, when they picked it up, they FaceTimed me. And I was like, I need to have that. Ooh, nipple slip. I'm not going to edit that out. But
nobody wants to see that.
Dude.
Nobody.
Speak for yourself.
You know.
Oh, High. let us show it again, because High wants to see.
Dude, you know what the coolest thing was? The dude that showed up with this ginormous crystal, my sister said that he had to go upstairs to get it from his little crystal shop. And he carried it down. He was sweating. The crystal's like 50 pounds. And it's a cholo dude.
Wow.
That's how cool the spiritual shit is, bro.
You have interesting stories. You'll have interesting. Sorry, my bad.
Yeah, it's not good.
You'll have interesting fucking stories on how shit comes to you, bro. Like for instance, the first big stone I ever bought is my Shiva. It's in the room. I might bring it out. So how like it's underneath the where the lady had it in the shop. It was like underneath, way like in the back, underneath, right? I saw it because I saw it. It looked like water was glistening off of it. So she says, "That's funny that you picked that stone." She said, "Because a little kid just came in and was playing with it and slobbering all over it." She's like, "That's actually slobber." She's like, "Let me clean." I was like, "Don't clean it off. It's there for a reason." I brought home a slobbered stone. Yes, I did. Fuck you. But the point is that was my interesting story. You know, he gets to share his. It's cool. But my story is weird. It's cool.
Cool story, bro. Dude, but so this crystal is now in my shop, and dude, every time I connect with somebody, I just break off a piece and I give it to them.
Wow.
So I call it the giving crystal, bro. And
shit.
in my head, the day the crystal is gone, it's like it did its shit. Yeah, dude.
Yo, that's dope as fuck.
Yeah, so I'll just be like, yo, bloop, and then I'll just give them a chunk. So whoever got a chunk from me after getting tattooed, now you know why and where it comes from.
Yeah. High doesn't have any cool stories.
He only got 2 crystal balls.
Have 2 balls.
Oh, a crystal vagina, my bad. Well, bro, how do you feel about crystals and all of this? Dude, remember, was it Noreen?
Yeah.
Okay, explain to me what happened.
So during my first journey,
What journey are you talking about?
I had a.
They ask great questions, right? Like you guys ask really good questions. My bad.
Well, I had an ayahuasca journey. Back in March?
First one.
My first one, yeah. And during this journey, I went pretty deep, and there was another participant there who had some petrified wood. So like a big chunk of petrified wood, and while I was going through it, she could sense that I needed to be grounded, so she came over and put it next to me. Told me to hold on to it whenever I want to feel grounded or come back, and it helped me. I was like, it did exactly what she said it would do.
Yeah,
and,
that's amazing, bro.
Yeah, at the end of it, she gave it to me. I was like,
oh my God, that's so awesome.
You know what's crazy? It's, you know how like you're talking about how when it's done with this job, it'll automatically move on to.
It automatically.
So it was like done with Noreen,
and it
went to you.
Like the stone that I gave to old girl, it was like it told me that's mine.
But later on in that retreat, on the 3rd day, Noreen was going through it, and she had a moment where she screamed out for help, and at that moment, I went over and I returned the petrified wood to her.
That's dope.
And it helped calm her down.
Yeah.
And later on that evening, when we closed the ceremony, I was sharing that story with everybody, with the group, and I wanted to remind Noreen that she still had the petrified wood, and I told her that I wanted it back.
He actually.
Listen.
He still has it.
No, listen.
I don't give a fuck.
Listen. She gave that shit to me, man. Hey, she gave that shit to me, man. Keepers over here, man. Keepers over here.
Sharing is caring, bro.
But I'll give it. In due time, I'll hand it off to someone else.
Yeah, right, and then take it back.
So I kind of started this project because I wanted to kind of have open conversation that's not so serious, so others can see that we don't have to be serious and uptight and all of this when it comes to spiritual awakening or whatever you call it, because it's all new to me. And dude, I've met so many people through this journey that are just fucking chill as fuck.
I want to add to that. Like, what I love about this journey in comparison to what I learned as a kid within religion, and I love during my ceremony, my favorite part was experiencing how Mother Aya only leads you back to you, bro. Like, I've always believed that number one, I am a god. Like, but we'll talk about that another day. I just am. But anyways, um, I have an issue with people telling me what the fuck to do, right? So I grew up. Shut the fuck up, High. Like, are we even talking to High?
If you want to call it
right,
shit out of
right. Like, are we talking to High right now? Like, is he in the room?
Oh, you can't tell.
Is he
Kendra what to
fucking in
do.
the room?
Surprise! Surprise! Oh.
Like he's tried. This motherfucker is crazy. Anyways, so the point is that like so the way I grew up, we believed in what we call prophets, which a lot of people would call psychics, right? So like I do believe that messages can come to you from on the other side for another person. I do believe that. But my issue was always if quote unquote God told you to come and tell me some shit, then they would tell you how to say it to me. So it should be said to me in a manner that I will be able to accept it. So a lot of times, because I grew up in a household with a spiritual leader, I am very aware of how it's easy as a spiritual leader to drop into a situation where you think you know is your voice not really that godly voice, right? So I was like, yo, if God can talk to them, God can talk to me. So then that led me to I am God. I know what the fuck I'm doing. I know what the fuck I need to hear, right? So then I just started looking for a science that talked about how you are in charge. So then that led me to Scientology. But I didn't really connect with it. It was like something about it I didn't quite connect. And then I intuitively started after doing the crystals. I intuitively started practicing what's more popularly known as Santeria, right, or voodoo, depending on where in the country it originated from.
So, me growing up, every time I hear voodoo, I'm like, yo, that's some like scary shit.
Like witch
and
too, witch,
it's like
voodoo,
evil, this and that, and I had
certain
no idea
words.
what it is. But how did you get into Santa Greta?
Santeria
Santeria.
is the Latin term for voodoo. Because the way somebody explained it to me, and I'm not a history buff nor claim to be, but the way it was explained to me was that when slavery happened, a lot of the slaves were, sent over to Cuba, like the Caribbean islands, in Latin America, right? So they took part of their religion, which in Africa is voodoo. They took part of their religion and were able to use it to communicate with each other. So because of course during that time Christianity was taken over, so if you weren't serving Jesus or God, then you could be killed or whatever the hell was going on during that time. Like you weren't allowed to practice your own religion. So Santeria is just from no.
No, I was listening to you.
I was like, no, Santeria is just from the Latin. It's the Latin. What is that version of voodoo?
Got you. So, what popped into my head when I was listening to that is like, even including me, and I read it too. It's like sometimes there's like we just know what we're capable of and what our gifts are. But do you feel like you start getting any type of like ego, like a spiritual ego?
Definitely, bro. Definitely.
All right.
Definitely. What? No, I'm being.
I hate High's face, bro.
Yeah, I'm just like,
dude,
like what the fuck, High? I mean, I think that's a genuine fucking answer. Because the thing is that I had to learn this the hard way, right? So for me, by growing up in a religious household, I was able to practice my gifts freely. You know what I'm saying? From the perspective of I was a kid laying hands on people, healing them as a kid. You know what I'm saying? I was like my stepdad being a preacher, he would take me to it's actually in LA. I don't know if it's still there. It might be torn down now. But like he would take me to where the bishops were of a specific religion that we were worshiping. I don't know if I should say it or not, whatever.
You say whatever you want.
But they are called Church of God in Christ. So I'm like 10, 11 years old, going to talk to 8, 10 bishops every Saturday, debating the Bible with them. So like for me, by being able to do it as a kid, I went through that spiritual leader ego shit hella early. You know what I'm saying? But I can catch it, and then, like I can see it on a person because I'm like, I already did it. Like, but what it is that I learned, instead of thinking that it's me telling somebody like, oh, God had to talk to me. I'm like, yo, if God is telling me to tell you something, higher self, whatever the fuck you want to call it, the spirit, the energy, if it's telling me to relay a message to you, I should only be confirming what you already know. Because otherwise I'm exercising my psychic abilities and I'm telling you about the future if it's something that you don't know. But if it's a message from the spirit, I'm actually yelling at you what they've been telling you. So that's how I see it.
Dude, you know what's crazy? Because so when I channel and they've all seen it, dude, it's like, since it's energy coming over me, it's like trying to translate it into English because their language is like,
it's different
energy. You know what I mean?
Yo, who explained that to us? Or was it me or you? I don't know who was talking about, like, you said it.
Yeah.
How it's actually coded. Explain how you said it. It's coded and it comes down and then you say it out in English.
So I don't know how it really works, but when I'm experiencing it, it's like the true universal language is energy. You know, animals can feel if you're aggressive, if you're loving or whatever. That's a communication.
I love that. Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so, dude, when they're channeling through me and they're trying to give a message, for example, to High.
There's no messages for
Dude,
High.
no,
This is only an example.
Dude, I'll fucking share you the story, bro. It's so fucking funny, dude.
No one wants to talk to High.
And so I was in the middle of my journey, and they're like, I was like fucking shaking and vibrating, and then it was like, High, start fucking recording. Start recording. High. It was screaming like crazy, and I'm just like, what the fuck? And High's face is like, and he's trying to fucking find his phone.
He can't find shit.
He was like shitting bricks.
I need to hurry up and capture this spectacle, man. I need to capture this spectacle.
No way.
quick.
I was so scared, bro. But it was the energy trying to translate a message, but it doesn't know the volumes or anything. So it's just, and then it's just like, people that don't know, they're like, yo, he's screaming at me. He's being so aggressive. This and that. It's like, first off, it's not me.
It's God. Like, it's God talking through him to say to you something that you have not listened to. It's going to sound loud.
Yeah, and then second off, it's still not me because they don't believe in that shit. You know, but yeah, that was just something that kind of popped in my head where it was like, how they talk and stuff, it's weird because I just kind of have this knowing that what they're trying to tell me, but when they're trying to translate it, it's just like, and then it just looks fucking scary.
Do you think it's gonna change as you practice more?
It's been changing a lot, dude. So the first time that I was open up to just energy, like entering, I was a dumbass because I was like,
Well, you are a dumbass.
yeah.
And this is the dumber ass.
Well, I mean, but dude, I was like, okay, you know, I'll just like be the vessel for whatever needs to come through, and they were like, and it was like,
Tony.
it was like a spiritual gangbang, bro. I was like, oh my god, like
Tony got a train ran on him.
it was.
Tony got ran through.
Dude, it was fucking bad, dude.
Tony's name should be Choo Choo Tony. Tony Choo Choo.
Dude, I was a dumbass, dude.
Tony Choo Choo.
I say, mama.
Dude, but yeah, so then it started happening more frequently when I connect with the medicine. And then so the second time it was like more like, okay, they now got in line. They're like, okay, cool, he's connected. Like, I want to try to connect and relay. So then they would more be in line in a sense.
So do you only? I'm sorry if I
Yeah,
cut you
no,
off.
no.
Do you only channel when you're on medicine?
Yeah, so through medicine, I have awoken that ability. I never channeled or anything prior to that. I did multiple ceremonies before. It was like a movie, man. It was like step one, the awakening. Step two is me shutting the hell up and listening. Step three,
I think
what
we're
shit's
still on
happening?
step two.
Yeah. But yeah, dude, after like everything was shown to me, like fucking a thunderstorm hit and everything was just awakened. Like my soul left the fucking earth, everything.
Okay, when you say awaken, what do you mean?
So it was like this part that was dormant in me that was always there. It was awakened. And dude, the universe was, dude, giving me all of this raw information. And then after, dude, it was crazy. So there was this part when my body was not on Earth no more, and there was like 14 people like holding me down as like shit was happening. Like Taita was like trying to help me and shit, and he was like, "Fuck it, I'm not. I just can't do it." You know what I mean? He did all of this stuff, and then he ended up purging. But as I was in this realm, there was all of these universe data and everything. It was like condensing into a ball, and then it pretty much put it in my stomach, but like my soul stomach or whatever.
Yo.
And then it threw me back into my body, and then ever since then, that's when I started channeling. And it's a fucking trippy thing, man.
Do you channel? Hi.
I don't think so. My
Hold it up to your mic.
my first journey.
So they can hear why we tell you to shut the fuck up.
I mean, my first journey. I mean, it was an experience that is pretty difficult to describe, but ultimately, you know,
How many times have you journeyed?
4.
Okay.
4. My first time was in March, which is a few months ago. But I don't know what I experienced was just fucking raw energy, just pure, unadulterated, not good, not evil, all both, whatever, just pure energy. And I was, similar to what Tony was describing. Like I felt like there was something that woke up. I distinctly remember letting out a sigh, but like a sigh as if like I've been sleeping fucking forever.
Like you've arrived.
Yeah. And
I don't think I could ever describe awakening. Like to me, I don't know if maybe I think honestly,
I have
this past weekend, I think honestly this past weekend with the ceremony, the Aya ceremony, I think it's the first time I ever felt like I'm thankful for my experience of growing up in a spiritual household, but also like maybe my awakening occurred like a long time ago and I just didn't know. You know what I mean?
well, you talk about growing up in a spiritual household. I mean, I did too. I grew up in a Catholic household.
Okay.
My uncle, who was a Catholic priest,
Yeah.
helped raise me.
Your uncle was a Catholic priest, bro?
Yeah.
How fucking crazy is that?
He was a Catholic priest, and he was actually supposed to kind of take my dad under his wing to kind of take him into the priesthood when he was a young man.
Yeah.
But that didn't pan out for my dad.
Okay.
That path of life didn't pan out for him. So they ended up being attached, my uncle and my dad.
Yeah.
It's
What
funny.
are you doing? This guy.
My mom told me if we were
stripping and shit.
to stay in Vietnam, and if I was like born and raised in Vietnam, I think they said that they would have probably tried to groom me to be a priest.
Wow.
But I mean,
Do you guys believe in past lives?
Now I do, because of the shit that I was experiencing. I was all spiritual, but dude, shit's been like unfolding, and now I've been around for a long time.
What do you think about that, High?
yeah, I'm starting to really
Hold the mic so they can hear why we're gonna tell you to shut the fuck up.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know yet, but I think so. I'm starting to feel energy from people that I feel like I've known them before, like you, for example.
I don't fucking know you, Hi.
I know. But other people along the way, along this journey, I've met. Like I felt like.
Yeah, no, I totally agree with that because, like, prior to meeting you guys, I have really been like searching what I feel like is like my entire life. I was searching for my people.
Side note: this is the first time we actually all met.
This is their first time in my house. We just met only 4 days ago, right? At the Aya ceremony. I just told them in the car, like, I believe that they were there on purpose just to get me, like, to come and pick me up. And now we're in my house.
It's actually really wild when you think about it, of all the things that had to happen.
Yeah.
In order for us to cross paths.
But even think about, too, how the Aya ceremony, remember when Susie was at the table and she was like, that's the best food we ever had. Yeah. That's the best location we ever had. And I was like, because bougie ass Kendra would not have shown up.
Bro, you got fucking lucky because before the ceremonies, yeah. But before, they were just ordering just generic food.
Oh my God. Listen, they fed me when I saw sprouts and I saw fucking great looking vegetables. I was like, yo, I love Aya. But then I found out it was because of my friends. And literally the food healed me, bro. Because my experience was I was sick for almost 3 weeks straight before I went to the ceremony. And during that time, I was just on this very couch, huddled up, had to crawl, couldn't even fucking walk to my bathroom to puke and poop like everybody was doing at the Aya ceremony. And like Chuck had said to me, he was like, oh, you're so strong. And I said, bro, I've been purging for 2 months, dog. All this shit they're doing here, I did that shit at my house before I got here.
Cakewalk.
Yeah, I was like, yo.
I've been pre-purging for ayahuasca.
I didn't even know, bro. I didn't even know. But basically from being sick the way I was, I couldn't eat anything before I got there. Like, I had to eat a cracker, I had to hold my hand over my mouth because I would just spew it out. Like, I didn't want to chew. I didn't want anything. First things I ate was what they made. And it just felt so nurturing. It was like, it was healing me, bro.
Shout out to Hummingbird Church.
Hummingbird Church, gang.
Bringing us all together.
Gang.
Yeah.
Wait, we got to do our little handshake, bro. Me and Hai made this up in the car.
Oh, okay.
Baby.
That shit's more like a butterfly.
He's fucking jealous.
Whatever, dude.
Fucking hate it. Tony Buzzkill.
Whatever, man.
Buzz Killington. Tony Buzz Killington.
Oh, let me start my own handshake. All right, cool.
It's okay. You can handshake yourself. And this is high. Hi.
Yo, how do you sound just like Hi?
Hi.
But dude, so since we're talking about ceremonies and shit, what did you experience?
Whoa, bro. Whoa. Okay, so I have to tell you, most of my journey has been alone. Most of my experience has been alone. Even when I started getting into yoga last year, like I'm doing yoga 3-4 times a day. And it went from being at a small studio to a bigger studio. And then, COVID was going on. And then COVID went away. More people started coming into the classes. And I was like, more people. Oh, my God. And one of my yogi friends had said to me, he was like, no, bro. More people is more energy. Like, you get to download more. Go to the ceremony. Just had that little battle with anxiety and depression. I walk in, I'm like, people. But first experience was the anxiety went away And I was able to appreciate how many people were there and understand how we all the same and we all came to heal, and it was beautiful.
You know,
It
for
was beautiful.
people that never tried ayahuasca, dude, the first time I did it, I was like fucking YouTubing shit, Googling shit. I was like, man, none of these fucking videos are real, bro.
No, you know what's crazy? For ayahuasca, my question was, what do you feel like when you're done? Because I read like, oh, it lasts 2 to 6 weeks. And I'm like, but what are you feeling? And I was like, no one's telling you what you feel.
Yeah.
I just talked to my people yesterday after I talked to my aunt and one other person last night. And I was like, the reason why they don't tell you what you feel is because it's no way to explain what your experience is going to be. And I'm like, I don't even want to influence someone else's experience by telling them what I felt. And I was like, now I understand why. Hummingbird. Big ass hummingbird.
Oh, damn.
Look
The
at it.
homie's taking a break.
Hey.
Hey.
Hummingbird.
Hey.
Hi. Say it hi.
Hi. Hi is the worst at
Yo,
podcasting,
he's
bro.
motherfucking.
I don't even know why he's here.
Bro, head out the window. Look, she's flying. She was like fluttering for a little second.
Dude, but you know, like from my experience, man, I realized that drinking the ayahuasca is only like 10%.
No.
It's like, dude, the ceremony space.
Yes, that was
location,
everything for me. Like, I came in and I felt like I was at home. Like, from shutting in as a kid, when I came in.
What is a shut-in?
A shut-in is similar to what we did at this ceremony. This is my only ceremony, and being there, I learned like every ceremony is not the same. So the way that the Hummingbird Church had like beds all in the floor, I was like, oh, this is just like shutting in as a kid, where we would lock ourselves in the church for the weekend just to pray. And we would dance, we would play tambourines, we'd play music, we'd sing, we'd purge, basically. We would speak in tongues, which is like talking to the spirits. Like, that's what I did as a kid. So when I walked in and saw that, I felt at home. And then during my first experience, what I heard was, we've been waiting for you, welcome home.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I had a similar message through one of my journeys where like, it was crazy, man. I was like just in this abyss, and all of these beings, these spirit energies were all around me.
Yeah.
And at the time, they're like, dude, we've been waiting for you to awaken, like you're finally here. But like, I was trying to not feed into that spiritual ego shit,
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, maybe they're like just welcoming me, this and that. And then like later on, they were like, bro, you're the fucking one to help change the universe. Like, when you're done with Earth, like, it's some next level shit you're about to fucking experience, And that kind of like tripped me out, But it's, in a way, even though it's trippy, I was talking to Courtney, and it was funny. I came to the realization that it just feels so natural. It's like, I'm not scared of it. I'm like just ready for whatever comes through, without trying to think about anything,
To add to that, I'd like to say how I got to ayahuasca. So 4 years ago, I went to my first burn. It was the first time I'd ever done shrooms, first time I'd ever done a psychedelic. And when my trip was done, I'm telling my friends what happened, and they're like, oh, you need to try DMT, ayahuasca. They started telling me all these things. I had never heard of any of this stuff. And, but they warned me. They were like, but you can't ask for it. It'll come to you. And when you were talking about how you saw multiple like spirits telling you, we've been waiting for you, I feel like literally you should only do Aya if she calls to you. Like, so before even going to the ceremony, like I was talking about how I started practicing intuitively Santeria. I have my best friend, she's actually Ifa, which is a practice religion in Nigeria, similar to voodoo. I believe it's one of the derivatives. There's like multiple ones. I'll read up on it so I can come and tell you about it, because there is another one. But I was just looking for it. So many things in my life were like up and down. It was like I start something, then it be really great, then it shoot down. And then I jump into something else, shoot up, shoot down. So I was looking for stability. So originally, I ended up signing up to do an Ifa ritual.
What is that?
So the Ifa ritual, it involved like I was gonna go see a priest, and like I was gonna like the priest was gonna offer up sacrifices for me.
So when you're talking about sacrifices, like what kind of sacrifices? Is it like
One of the sacrifices that is included in that is very looked down upon because it's misunderstood is actually drinking the blood of a rooster.
bro, you know what's fucking trippy? In my head, I was like a rooster, chicken. But also, I want to let people know that, dude, these sacrifices, they really do honor
Yes.
the rooster
Whatever.
before.
Yeah, they
know?
like they. It's not. Like I believe it's misunderstood. You know what I mean? Like that's why you got to go to what calls you. That's like what I was like originally pointing out, because I was looking for anything to change, but I ended up not being able to go to that ritual. Like it was like first he told me it would only take 4 weeks. The 5th week, I'm like, yo, bro, I ain't ever heard from you. He's like, I'm waiting to find the rooster. And I'm like, okay, cool. Then the 6th week passed. Then the 7th week, and I'm like, bro, I don't want to do the ritual the week before I go do Aya.
Did you actually approach him?
That one I approached him.
Okay, gotcha.
Versus how Aya called out to me. Aya called out to me the first day I did shrooms. But they told me, don't ask for it. It will come to you. Then, Memorial Day weekend, I had a fucking blast laying on my couch after I crashed my car. That's a whole nother subject. Laying on my couch chilling. And I'm like, yo, how am I going to top? It's my motherfucking birthday coming up. How am I going to top Memorial Day weekend? I'm on Instagram looking for inspiration. You know what I'm saying? Just a little,
And so the Hummingbird Church popped up.
Scrolled up on Instagram, briggity, bro. And then it was called Hummingbird Church. So I'm thinking, oh, maybe I can go to like some kind of hummingbird reserve or, because I'm like, fuck you.
Hummingbird Rehabilitation Center.
A hummingbird petting zoo.
Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up, hi. Thanks. But no thanks. We don't care what you have to say.
You know, the craziest thing that I did notice was how trippy is it that you've already had such a good connection with hummingbirds because, dude, you have tattoos everywhere. I was like, yeah, hummingbird. Damn.
Yeah, they're all over me. But again, that's how. The way I even learned to start seeing hummingbirds was through a friend of mine that passed away shortly after, and they started visiting me. So I've always seen them as
what I'm trying
visitors.
to think of right now is, dude, how did our energies attract to each
because
other?
we are the same.
Yeah, I know, but it was
we have the same fucking gifts.
Like what happened during
We're on the same frequency. I was asking I was asking them that earlier. How did we all start talking to each other?
3 simple words.
3 kings.
Raw animal magnetism.
Shut the fuck up, High.
Yeah, it's like,
dude. But seriously, how did?
Yo, he kept saying that last night, bro. And that's why y'all heard me yelling at him, like, shut the fuck up, yo. Kevin was like, really, Rambro, really?
Why do we have High here, man?
Because High doesn't have a penis, and we need another person on the panel without a penis. You know, I'm just saying, nothing wrong with boys who don't have penises. We're only making fun of High. And he has 1 ball.
Dude, but
1 bull ball.
I think I was trying to remember. I'm still trying to remember how we connected, but it was just like
all of a sudden they appeared. But
on the couch and Kendra was was going through the breath work, and she was one of the participants that were the deepest.
Yeah.
And when she woke up, we were there, and we were just chopping it up, and we all just kind of.
But listen, what's crazy is every time I would start tripping, this motherfucker would show up, bro. I was like, yo, every time I start my trip, you're like right here. And he was like, I'm your magic brother. I was like, shut the fuck up, bro.
Intuitive.
But literally every time my trip started, Tony would be right there. And then, except the night that High promised that he would be there, his bitch ass went to sleep.
I think I remember
He
what I
said, "I'ma
whispered in.
see you. I'ma see you." And then I'm looking. I couldn't talk during that trip, and I'm laying there trying. I'm like, "Where the fuck is High? He told me he would be here."
Dude, Kendra acts like we keep searching her, but every single time she's like, where's High? Where's High?
Fuck him. Fuck that dude, yeah. Fuck all these hoes. They're hoes. They're hoes. You both are hoes.
I got sent to ayahuasca jail, man.
What the fuck? What are you talking about? You have people thinking it's a jail. Like, the fuck are you talking about?
I fell asleep.
There is no jail in ayahuasca. I just want to make that clear. That High's dumbass.
He manifested in jail for
He went to sleep. That's what he's talking about.
I fell asleep.
Yeah,
started
that's
snoring.
ayahuasca jail for him.
And I started snoring in the room. And it was disruptive. So I had to leave and go sleep on my own.
So that's his reason for why he wasn't there when I needed him. Thanks, High. But Tony's always there when I need him.
Dude, you know what? It's crazy because like my friend Joe, she's actually laying over there, but I'm not gonna turn camera or anything. But we were talking about how we kind of just intuitively know what to do, kind of like as facilitators. I like just shut off my brain, and then I'm just like I'll be doing something like playing an instrument or something, and then I'll somehow feel this energy that draws me. For example, like if I'm drawn to you, right, and then I'll start doing little things to kind of just make sound through the instrument, and then I intuitively watch your face to see if it's actually bothering you or if it's helping you, you know. And so if I can see the smile or I can see your body get relaxed more or whatever, then I'll play more of the instrument. I'll try to be
He did that one day. Yo, it was the best. I was like, Tony is the best DJ I ever had. And I knew it was Tony.
What if I wasn't there?
No, I knew it was him. I knew it was Tony. And then he comes like he did something special. Yo, I played that shit over your head. I'm like,
I just wanted her to
I'm
know.
like, yeah, nigga, I know. Because I saw you during my trip. He's like, yo, that thing was dope. I said, what was it? I don't fucking know. A bird in a can.
Dude, I didn't know what that.
I was like, a bird in a can? So what are you talking about?
There's this instrument, man. It's like, there's some tag hanging out, and I look in, and it's just these little sticks, and there's like this marble. And it looks like fucking bands, like a can of beans that someone tied ropes to, bro. And as you play it, it sounds like the intro to Harry Potter. It's like fucking.
And I would see colors when he would play it over me. It was like I was a baby and looking at a mobile, and I felt my
what's
grandfather.
a mobile?
The fucking mobile over the bed, bro. Like, what the fuck? Is it because you're from Vietnam? They don't have them shits there or something?
Man, my parents just.
They not from Vietnam, bro. They're fucking liars.
Bro. My family, we probably had chopsticks going around.
What's a mobile? What the fuck is wrong with you?
Hey, man,
You're from America.
I had chopsticks,
You're
bro.
from America, bro. Tell the truth.
What?
Fuck,
dude.
What's a mobile?
My parents aren't from America, so they don't know what that is. You know, they're like, okay, let's.
It's the little fucking shit that you put over the baby to pay attention when you change his diaper or some shit. It plays music when they're sleeping. It just goes around. So I literally in that moment felt like a baby in a crib, and I'm so excited to remember that right now.
Yeah, like pretty much what we're doing is an integration right now.
Oh, I get to integrate.
We're talking about podcast, but in reality, it's a real integration.
Yeah, because we just came from ceremony, right? That's how it works.
And dude, the more you integrate with others, dude, things come back to you that you don't remember.
Like that was crazy. I was like, yo, it was a mobile.
And guess what else came back to me, dude? So remember you were trying to take a nap. And we were talking earlier, and you're like, dude, Taita just called second cup, this and that. And she was like scared. So anyways, fast forward, she's taking a nap. I went, second cup.
I'm not asleep. I know it's you. Damn it. So it's Tony.
That shit was so funny though, dude. So those of you who don't know that, what a second cup is, it's normally you drink your first cup, and in the process, if you're not feeling anything or it's not as strong, the shaman or the taita or whoever would offer a second cup, and that kind of helps with more having more medicine.
Enhances the journey.
Enhances the journey. But when you hear that sound, it's fucking scary.
Listen.
When you hear the call,
listen. After the first night, which a lot of people didn't trip the first night, but I did. I did not want to do ayahuasca ever again in life. Ayahuasca is not easy.
I experienced the exact
I did not want to do it. And then it's interesting because Tony and Hai are the ones that they helped me to integrate, because the experience from I have already been experiencing my entire life in different ways. Like I would just hone into and focus. But the Aya was more of a physical for me. It was more of a physical. That's what I love too. When Susie explained how I didn't know Aya is a rites of passage in the Native American culture. And so you're here to heal your inner child, right? And I was like, bro, this called me. I didn't even know why it called me. I didn't know exactly what it was, but it's on time. Because when I was laying here going through my issue of being sick, really what kept popping up was moments from my childhood that really defined who I was and who I've become. And I got to heal them in this weekend.
We're very similar, where like we were very intuitive at a young age.
Yeah.
What was the defining moment where like you're like, holy fuck, the shit is real?
It was never not real for me.
Okay. For
whether I was practicing religion or not, my spiritual life has always been integrated into my life. Like, I used to call it guilt life. Because people would ask me, oh, you grew up in church, like, why don't you go to church? And I'm like, I don't want to live the fucking guilt life. I was like, literally, what religion tells you what you can do? All of them are telling you, don't do this, don't do that. And it's like, well, what the fuck can I do, bro? Because I got urges of some shit that I want to do. Why do I have to deny this and feel like shit? I'm not living the guilt life. I do whatever the fuck I want to do when I want to do it, because you know what? I am God. And then that just, I just kept going off of that and just following my intuition.
You know what? It's funny that we talked about that spiritual ego, right?
Yeah.
And, most people that, if they're even watching us, when they hear that, they're like, dude, how you...
She just so... She just gonna tell me she is God?
But
I am only God of me, though. I'm not your God.
That's dope. Okay.
Like, that has nothing... So, what does the Bible say? We're the children of God.
Yeah.
If we're the children of God, we're fucking gods. It's that simple.
That fucking makes a lot of that makes a lot of sense.
If your daddy is a god, you a motherfucking god. I'm just saying. Or your mama.
What's happening is you're acknowledging your own divinity, and you also acknowledge.
I'm sovereign like a motherfucker. Do you understand
but
that?
You also acknowledge everyone else's.
But I see the light in everyone.
Divinity, right?
Yes.
But not everyone sees their own.
That's their walk. It's not my place to say they're supposed to. What if in this lifetime their purpose is not to recognize it because they're healing something from another lifetime? It's not my place to tell you. That's why I'm only my God. You are your God.